Hello everyone, I hope you're well. My name is Nick and this is channel njenkin. Follow me on Twitter if you want to. On that I just talk, well, rubbish mostly. A bit like on YouTube. Yeah. What's the purpose of this video? Well, the template gives it away and also the title. But we've recently come up to the end of a blundering series on the channel. Now a blundering series is a series where I start off with a game and I don't tend to be that good, and I gradually improve throughout all the videos, either trying to complete the game or in terms of the racing blundering series that I now favour, try and get to some sort of position throughout it. Now if you haven't watched that series yet, the Formula 1 2010 blundering series, and you intend to, then probably don't watch this video any further because this will contain spoilers of how the season went. It's a bit of a roundup, so you have been warned to a certain degree. Now before we started this championship, I put it up to a video vote. There was a number of different games we could have done, including Wipeout, Colin McRae, and a number of other ones, but you all selected Formula 1 2010 by Codemasters, and it was a good decision because it did give a quite exciting championship, hopefully, for you. Lots of ups and lots of downs. I'll probably put up a highlights reel at some point once I've gone through it and trying to select the best bits. I won the championship by just 3 points, which is pretty amazing really, because at some stage I was 72 points behind and gradually reined it back in again. It was 19 rounds, the Formula 1 2010 series, and I didn't quite contemplate how big this was going to be initially, or how much work I'd have to do, but it was, in the end, it ended up being 55 videos. It would have been a bit more, but we had a bit of a game capture problem, which is essentially the device that captures the footage and then relays it onto a computer. I think we lost a couple of practice sessions, but it wasn't too bad, and it failed right at the end of the last race, but on the final score tallying up, so we still got a bit of footage. So that was a bit of a close one. I think the technical problems have come when my computer force upgraded to Windows 10, and I've gradually been trying to correct things, but every so often they run an automatic update and it mucks it up again ever so slightly. So I've got a bit of a workaround with that, but it could have been an absolute disaster. Hope you like watching those 55 videos. I know a few of you watched all of them, which is beyond my wildest expectations, and some people just watched the races. But it was quite an exciting championship there. At the start, Lewis Hamilton was running away with it, and after a series of crashes we had, either deliberately or accidentally, you make the decision, he went a bit off the boil and didn't win any more races after race 9 in Valencia. I managed to win 5 races in the end, which is pretty good going, I think. Was using a PlayStation 3 controller all the way along, but I might get a steering wheel if we do any future ones. I won the very first race out in Bahrain, and then was worried that the game might be a little bit easy. But then I didn't win again until Canada, which was round 8. Fell a bit behind, then won the race in Belgium, that's round 13. Round 16 in Japan, and round 19, the very last one in Abu Dhabi, to actually win the championship. The last 2 races I was a bit behind, but come second in Brazil and first in Abu Dhabi. Hopefully you watched those, and Mark Webber only come 4th in the last 2, which so I managed to win it by the narrowest of narrow margins. Had a few disasters also, which I might put up in the highlights reel if I indeed do that. I didn't finish in Monaco after a huge accident where I got some massive air, and I think if I'd done that in real life I probably would have been killed. I come 18th in Spain. The AI in Catalonia and Spain in this game, Formula 1 2010, in my opinion is a bit too good. I couldn't keep up with them. But having said that, as the championship progressed, I did learn a bit more about how to set up the car to get it to turn in, moving the ballast and stuff, where at the start I was just Googling setups and trying to live with them, and sometimes it was making it a bit more difficult. So if you've got this game, hopefully, and you haven't played it for a while, hopefully I've reignited your interest in that and you get playing it again, because it's absolutely awesome. The weather conditions when it's raining in this game are, well, really good, and I tended to do a bit better in the rain because the AI was a bit safer in the race, and I just continued as a normal. Yeah, other races I didn't do very well on is my home Grand Prix in Great Britain, where I only managed 21st. Never really got the hang of the setup there. And again, I didn't qualify very well in Hungary, round 12. Hamilton at that point was flying in pole, and I got a rather dubious start. Was very late on the braking, too late, and I took Hamilton out really, which was awful. And then in Singapore we qualified right at the back. I was better in the race, but in the end, I think I used to wear out the tyres too much early on, and I only can manage 12th. I tended to learn that in qualifying in this game, you have to start the race, you finish in the top 10 on the same tyres you finish on. So if you do lots and lots of laps in qualifying to get a good position, then you start on badly worn tyres. So sometimes it's beneficial to doing a couple of laps, having a poorer race position with a view of trying to overtake the racers at the end, and that certainly worked in Abu Dhabi, the last race. My favourite race of the season, you might disagree, was Japan, where basically I didn't qualify very well, and it was scheduled to rain, and I was getting a bit of drift in the championship. I made a bit of a risky pit stop by pitting really late in my strategy, because there was a rain forecast of about 30%, so I risked going on the wet tyres. When I come in, everyone already made their first pit stop, and it just started to drizzle, and I gambled on it getting worse, and it did get worse. So I was right off the pace, so everyone had to do an extra pit stop. I come out just marginally ahead of Sebastian Vettel in second place, and he hounded me the full last 5 laps. Did manage to get past me and alongside me a couple of times, but I managed to back overtake him. So that was my favourite race, because I had no right really to win that, but strategy won the day. I got 5 pole positions in the end and 11 podiums, and it's that sort of consistency which won me the race overall. Mark Webber for Red Bull also won 5 races, Hamilton 4 races, Massa 2 and Alonso 2, although they wasn't a factor in the championship in the end. And quite surprisingly, Sebastian Vettel in the Red Bull, who won the real Formula 1 2010 season, he could only manage 1 race win, and that is in Turkey, although he was quite consistent. In the last race, there's only 3 of us with a chance to win the championship, Webber, Hamilton and myself, and thank goodness I was victorious. Thank you for all your kind comments throughout that. Well, most of them were quite kind anyway. It was only by a suggestion that we did a race blundering series anyway. Tuesdays and Wednesdays tended to be my rest days, where I try and get my brain back together, because working full time and also running a video channel as well is a bit taxing, and sometimes you need a bit of time off at least just to concentrate on what videos you could have done better, how can you improve the technology, and other things you can do, what's popular, what's not popular. The danger is when you're doing a video every day, you get in a bit of a bubble, get in a process of doing one off the other, and you don't really have time to improve, or what I call do research and development. So in a couple of weeks time, or maybe a bit longer, I'll probably put up another video, if you want to, doing another race blundering series. We'll put up all the games that's potential, so if you've got any early ones you can think of, put them below, and I might add them to the list when we do the voting. Don't know if that's going to be 2 weeks, 4 weeks, but I need a bit of a break really, because I am knackered. What we're doing the Random Wednesday Question Series 6 as well, which is just finished, so there'll be a bit of a hole Tuesdays and Wednesdays. I've been thinking about this for about a year, doing a podcast, but I don't know quite how that'll work. Maybe involve Igor as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching the Formula 1 2010 Blundering series. As I said, without any views it's pointless doing, so thank you for those few people that did watch that. We've got a playlist if you want to go through them in order rather than just trying to find them all with a search. So click on playlists if you're on the channel, and then click on Formula 1 2010, and they're all in the correct order. Equally, if you're into pinball, we've also got a pinball list of all games. Mainly it contains Zen Pinball 2 and Pinball Arcade, but there are a few, I think there's one Game Boy Advance game and a few Amiga games in there as well, with a pinball sort of angle. And we're almost up to 100 videos so far on the Pinball Arcade. We'll keep reviewing the Spectrum games. It tends to be 1 a week, although potentially I might do more every now and again. They're almost coming up to 200 videos. I think we're a few short, but once I've done that, I'll do another recap. Now, I tend to do a recap every 50 videos, so if you haven't checked them out so far, by all means do so. We've got a Spectrum recap of 1 to 50, and then 51 to 100, and then 101 to 150. So you can guess what comes next, 151 to 200. The Amiga one's a little bit off, Game Boy Advance, a little way to do in the next 50. So, yep, I hope you like watching the Formula 1 2010 season, and thank you for watching the channel. And till next time, have a great weekend and a very warm goodbye.
Goodbye.